morning, everybody. Welcome to Connections for Life. I am Joe Surrett.
I'm Chad Gubo. Chad Potter.
You look like Harry Potter let himself go.
Why does my scarf move so easily?
You look like Harry Potter, like when they do those celebrity things where they're like Harry Potter, like
it's Harry Potter before his celebrity boxing match.
Yeah, he had like a lot of success, and then he got in the world of drugs and alcohol. And this is what happened to him. Really homeless Harry Potter. You got to take that off. I can't take it anymore. Why does your hair look like that? That's like not even part of the thing. Like that's just your actual hair. Anyways, hi everybody. That was funny. We're short of a person this week. Mr. Teddy is out ill, a little under the weather. He's dealing with some things. So Teddy, if you do watch our show, I hope you feel better. And you get back soon as can be.
We should have just had him sign in at an empty office. In his empty office.
Like if we were smart, we could have got like looped him in like an old recording.
Yeah, we're not that smart, Joe.
No, we could never pull that off. No. Rihanna might be able to, but not us. So anyways, buddy, what's up? What's on tap?
How much? Also strange week for us releasing some content too. We're doing a little later in the week this week just because we had some stuff going on earlier, and then we did the live yesterday with Mr. Kunkel, which was fun. So we're actually recording this on a Thursday, which is strange. We're usually on a Monday, but yeah, it's been a fun week.
We should talk about the weekend because we're so far away.
That's why I was like, I can't talk about I don't remember the weekend.
Well, let's just really quickly. It's so funny because I think people like don't realize that we have no idea what we're doing when we hit record. Like we don't have this all planned out.
No, there's no script.
None. But I want to talk about Jim Kunkel. Jim was kind enough to have Chad and I on to his new program, Build Out, which you can find on LinkedIn. We did a LinkedIn Live with him yesterday. That was the 16th, right? 16th, is that
yes.
So on June 16th. So if you guys want to go on and watch that, we basically just talked about being on LinkedIn, being influencers, how we got started in connections. It was really unique because it was the first time that anybody's interviewed us.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like you said earlier, it was very easy.
Yeah, you didn't have to think too much, right?
Yeah, I could just answer, which was neat.
But yeah, so we're gonna keep the info relatively short this week because we don't have a lot to say. But to Mr. Kunkel, great program, awesome what you're doing. We really appreciate the opportunity, and we'll get you on our show ASAP. I know you got a lot on your plate, so once it calms down, we'll circle back and we'll extend the favor or the offer. So
absolutely.
That being said, you want to talk about this week's guest?
Yeah, this week we have a customer on again from People's Natural Gas in Pittsburgh, Katie Saulsbery. Katie's been in the industry about 9 years now. She actually went to college for agriculture at Penn State, and somehow ended up in our industry. But she's a really good friend of ours, outside of just even being business associates. She's a great person. She's worked for People's for about 4 years and spent 4 years before that with EQT. So just a wealth of knowledge, and she gets involved in some networks and things like that she'll talk about. And without further ado, we might as well. I just jumped in there, didn't I? We might as well just bring on Katie. Welcome, Katie. Welcome to the show, Katie. How are you today?
Hi guys, I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
You're all like dressed up, and look at us. Chad and I are going fishing right after this, apparently.
I'm going to the Reel 'em In.
Yeah, little fist bump to Kohl's. I got that for like $9. Look at me. Yeah. So what's up, Katie? How are you?
Good. Did you get a Kohl's cash back for that?
No, it was only $9. You guys spent like
40 cents.
Right. Every time I get them, I put them in like this little pile, and I think they're going to be something, and then I never use them. So I'm not really good at that. I'll send them to you. Just send me your address. I'll send you all my Kohl's.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow. So anyways, enough about the Kohl's. Katie, we now have had, you're now the second person from People's Gas that we've had on. So thank you. We appreciate you being here. Why don't we start you off where we start everybody off, and how you got your start in the industry, and kind of, tell us about that.
Yeah. So my story is very boring. I went to Penn State, got a degree in agriculture, graduated. I did an internship.
Whoa. See, you can't just go, I got a degree in agriculture without stopping there for a second.
Yeah.
I just want a 5 second. What are you doing with a degree in agriculture typically?
So a lot of people will go back and actually manage their family farms or work for an agricultural producer, buy and sell cows. I don't know.
That's pretty neat. That's
It is.
interesting though. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off right there, but I just
Yeah.
I couldn't get
Chad, I
past
guess
that.
we can talk about organic food.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Go ahead, Katie.
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
back to Penn State.
So I got an internship at a local grocery store here in their supply chain department. Graduated, applied for any job that I could because I didn't want to be poor and live with my parents forever. So I ended up at EQT. And at that time, EQT was production and midstream. So I worked in their procurement department for 4 years, primarily on the midstream side of things. Started services, then moved materials. But I got a really good basis there. After 4 years, kind of wanted to change. Didn't want to change too much though. So I came to Peoples and I've been here for almost 4 years. So kind of boring.
Well, not really. I mean, how did you just take a leap into this industry from working in the groceries in the chain that's, food supply?
I just wanted a good job and I went with it. And I mean, I love the industry now, so I couldn't imagine anything else. But I had no idea what anything was, but they were going to pay me and I was going to work there.
And look at, and you've learned a ton, I assume, through all of that. I mean, it's a little different than agriculture college. So
it's a little different than soybeans.
So what do you do now for Peoples? I mean, that takes us right into the segue of what do you do?
So I'm in the supply chain department, so I'm a buyer. So I buy and source every type of plastic and steel imaginable. So pipe, valves, fittings, regulators, couplings, and then I do consumable materials. So windshield washer fluid, tape, wax wrap, anything like that. So if it's used to put pipe in the ground or aid in any maintenance, I'm buying it. I also do services. So pipeline construction, engineering, surveying, compressor services. I do basically everything except indirect spend here. So
does anybody else work in the department?
I mean, of course, we actually have a group of 6 people, so we're very close. We work together. We all bounce off of each other, and it's just the most fantastic working environment most days, except for when I'm cranky.
So it's you that's the problem, not the actual.
Well, at least you admit it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at least you're
100%. Yeah.
So I know we're back in the office. It looks. I know. I'm assuming that's not the back, like the credenza that you're in your,
no.
your living room.
We are back, fully back. We came back on Monday, and it's been a change, but it's great.
Cool. It's nice to see that people are actually getting back to work and getting back in the office. I think, we all did a really good job through the pandemic, but I know you'd mentioned, I want to touch on this. You worked in the midstream market for 4 years, you said?
Yeah.
From your perspective, what are the differences, and maybe what are the different challenges between midstream market and obviously gas distribution and the utility market?
Yeah, the biggest difference is while we have milestones and goals that we have to complete every year, our project size is smaller. So pipeline construction, the project size can range from 500 feet to 2,700 feet. And it's very fast, very transactional. The planning period is a lot shorter, where a midstream company is going to have a lot longer of a planning period, larger pipe, miles and miles of new or replacement. So the biggest difference is you don't have as much time to do things as you would in a midstream company. So I have to act quick, find what I need basically the next day and get it to one of our locations. Another big difference is we're natural gas distribution. Most of our products are plastic, where midstream is typically going to be steel. So the challenge for me was to learn plastic, which is different. You have to learn the colors, the SDRs of the pipe, and it was a big challenge for me the first year to kind of switch my mind from steel to plastic.
I mean, there's a lot that goes along with that, right? I mean, as far as the fittings and the the connections and the transitions and everything.
Even the valves, down to everything, down to how they connect the pipe. I mean, that's a huge, they're probably a huge undertaking, but that's pretty neat. You bought stuff from us when you worked for EQT, which was essentially like a rock shield and things like that. Yeah. So I know there is some crossover, which I think is pretty cool too. I think it's really awesome that your background is that midstream world, because it's such, and not to say you guys don't move at a fast-paced utility, but that side is like, I mean, you're like, I needed it yesterday, and it's wild.
It's been a challenge, but it's been a great challenge. So I'm always like, I don't know, I'm always inundated with everything, which is great. But sometimes it's a little overwhelming. But working with people like you make it so much better.
Oh boy.
I gotta go. Joe, you can ask the rest.
Holy cow. I don't know how much
Wow.
I paid for that one right there.
Wow.
Jeepers.
So, you know, in the past 14, now 15, 16, I don't even know how long it's been now. We've all had to start doing, we've all had to start doing business completely differently. What in your role, what are some of the challenges you've had through COVID and the pandemic, I guess?
Oh, 100% no personal interaction. I feed off of people and I want to be around people. And it's been so hard to not just have somebody. I mean, it was me and my dog at home 10 hours a day. So it's been a challenge to not have my group around me. It's been a challenge to not have suppliers come in and just do their, twice yearly pulse check. How's everything going? What can we do? Can we improve? I think that's been the biggest thing. Our world is so virtual now in general, but you can't replace just personal interaction. I'm a big networker too. So
Shocking.
to not be able to go to like lunch or like happy hours and events and just meet people and talk about stuff. Things. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's been such a depressing thing. So I'm very excited to be back. And I luckily get to travel to a lot of our warehouses and sites pretty frequently. So I love to do that too, to not have to dress up and put on some, regular clothes and meet the guys in the field. So
well, you look very nice today as well.
Thank you. It's these clothes have been waiting.
Compliments back and forth here.
I don't know. Hey, if she's throwing them out, you got to throw them back.
I think it's interesting that you say that, because I think there's kind of two facets, and I want to just expand on this a little bit. I think it's two facets of people. There were people that during the pandemic really enjoyed and relished the fact that they could be home, and that they were able to do their jobs from home virtually, and really didn't ever miss going, that aspect of it. But I think for social people like myself and Chad and obviously you, we got used to it, but I don't think we ever got comfortable with it. Do you know what I mean? The first month was like, I asked Chad, I was pulling my hair out of my head. I think if he didn't like suggest creating connections, I'd probably be in a rubber room somewhere. It gave
or you'd have no hair at all.
Yeah, I still do. Thank you, Chad, for saving that. But I know it's interesting. Then there's the people that just really, I know that I hear people don't want to go back. That they feel more comfortable at home working in that environment. So it's just an interesting perspective. I think everybody's got a little bit of a different one. Speaking about networking, I know that you work and are involved with the Women's Energy Group. Did I get that right? Okay.
Women's Energy Network. Yes.
Network. Do you think I didn't? I was close. I thought I got it right on the nose too. Darn it, network.
Group and network, very different.
This is what happens when I rely on Chad.
No more compliments. No more compliments for anybody.
I haven't had one yet, so I'm good. But I know that, again, the Women's Energy Network. Can you give that a little tire pump and talk about what you guys do there and what some of the objectives are for some of our maybe female audience that might be interested in taking a look into that?
So Women's Energy. Oh, geez, now I'm screwing up.
Not that easy getting on the camera, is it?
No. Women's Energy Network is a national organization. So it's really connecting women and men. We do accept men. So you guys can join.
We just can't come to any meetings.
No, you can.
You'll take our membership dues and that's it.
Right. Stay at a distance.
No, you can come. No, but it just connects people across energy industry. So it's, obviously I work in natural gas. So to me, that's the best energy out there. But you also have electricity, you have renewable energy, which is really up and coming. So it's the greater Pittsburgh chapter has a lot of natural gas just because we're in the Marcellus and the Utica region. But there are a lot of other companies out there that do energy that are a part of it. And we encourage that. there's a lot of people that have different job titles, a lot of business development, obviously, a lot of producers, but there's a lot of lawyers and legal aspects, environmentalists, scientists, anybody that really touches energy in any capacity. So we have a lot of events that build you up professionally, a lot of charity events, just a lot of fun things. This week we had a fashion show that benefits Dress for Success, which is a charity that is pretty well known. In July, we have our membership drive, which I'm a member of the membership committee. So we're going to drink wine at a winery and meet each other. And it's been such a,
That I can show up for.
Yeah, those are the events I want to be a part of.
So it's a wine and cigar event, actually, because we want to encourage other people to come and
That's awesome.
just kind of do stuff like that. So we have our yearly gala, which is in August, was virtual last year. It's coming back this year. So it's a fun excuse to kind of get dressed up and, have fun and network and
It's awesome.
just kind of be a part of a bigger industry and meet a lot of people. Obviously, I like it. It's a great thing. So I will happily discuss it with anybody if they ever want to reach out and get to know more about it. So
If people did, is there a website or a place that they can go to?
there is. It's just Women's Energy Network. I don't want to say .com. There might be something after it. I don't know.
Okay.
But put it in Google and
Okay.
it's right there.
So with that being said, is everything for that now going back to in person as well?
No, keeping it a hybrid. There are some things they'll do a monthly book club that they'll do virtually, because like you said, there's a lot of people that still just kind of like the virtual aspect of things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool thing. I don't particularly want to do a lot virtual anymore, but it's a kind of a hybrid model that's working well.
Nice. Okay. Now you said the Pittsburgh chapter. Are there, chapters in every major city? Is that pretty much how it
Pretty
works?
much. So Houston has a big one. Denver has a big one. West Virginia has one. So anywhere that there's a large deposit of energy kind of things, there's typically
I
a,
like how you said Houston and Denver and Pittsburgh, and then you said West Virginia. Like city, entire state. Sorry, West Virginia. we didn't intentionally mean that.
no, I can't remember any cities in West Virginia right now, but
Yeah, well,
state's good enough.
Unfortunately, we could probably name a few, right, Kubo?
Yeah, it's sad. I'd probably
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like we could talk. We've known you for a while. You're. I think one of the cool things about this show is, and one of the cool things about connections when we start is that we get to not only talk to people we don't know, but we occasionally get to talk to people that are friends of ours. I just want to say thanks. You support us in a lot of different ways here at Upsco. Chad specifically. I know that we do quite a lot of work with you guys, and we really do, miss you guys and appreciate the friendships and the relationships that we've built. And we also appreciate the fact that we don't get customers that come on this show very often, and to have, you and Keith prior to you, and we have another one coming up here soon. It really helps us, feel like we're doing something and we're talking to people that matter to us, not just to, to the industry, but to us personally. So with all that being said, I just want to say thanks. Unfortunately, if you guys didn't notice, Teddy's not here today. He's a little under the weather. I don't know if we hit on that, but I figured most people would realize he wasn't.
It'll be on the intro, outro too. We'll hit it. I just want to apologize. I keep muting because clearly I'm at home and my neighbor is cutting their grass, and I'm just hoping they don't cut the internet line.
Oh boy, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, that's a different story. But literally, I keep muting because I'm like, I can hear the lawnmower drive past.
Anyways, thanks, Kat. Thanks, Chad.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's why my mind went there, because I was like, oh, please don't lock off the internet.
This is a daily occurrence for you. For those of you that don't get to see this, like normally this is our normal working,
And Katie knows that.
Yeah, that's why it's not a secret. But no, in all seriousness, Katie, it's good talking with you. Thanks for coming on the show. And how about now that we can get out and about a little bit, let's have dinner or lunch pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. I miss you, and hopefully you come to Pittsburgh soon.
We will.
We will.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katie.
All right, talk to you soon.
Thanks for coming on the show, Katie. It was awesome to talk to you. So much fun to have you. Can't wait to see you in person. Maybe in the next couple of weeks. It'll be awesome. It'll be good.
Yeah, hopefully. Chad said in the intro, but we've known Katie a while, at least 4 years. Pretty much.
I knew her before that, actually, which is the funny part.
Me personally, I know her for 4 years, and yeah, she's just like Chad said, a good friend of ours, somebody that we really enjoy working with, and super talented, and really enjoy having her be a connection with us. So, Katie, thanks for coming on. And as Chad said, we hope to see you really soon. Maybe get lunch, dinner, grab a drink, or something like that. Just hang out, be normal again. It's nice that that's kind of happening, and it's good to hear that people's gas is back in business and everybody's back in the office and working again. I think that's a really good sign for, not just the industry, but as the
Everything.
stuff as a whole. So yeah, pretty neat stuff. What else do you want to talk about? I think are we
No.
you got any gas? You got any updates about any of the shows coming up? Right?
KGA is a go. They have 93 vendors registered now, which I was trying to think the other day, Joe, how many vendors?
Out,
Yeah, it's August 24th, 25th at the Marriott Lexington, Kentucky, the one it's always been at. But I mean, I'm trying to think in my head how many vendors are usually there. 93 is a lot to me in that space. I'm trying to think, you know what I mean?
No, that's probably about right.
You think
Maybe it might be a little, yeah. I mean, you figure those rows, you got 10 on each side, give or take, and
Yeah, you're probably right. It seemed like a whole lot. There's over 400 people registered to attend, which I think is a very big number. That's a big number for them.
Well, it's awesome to see, and I hope that continues. I'm really, really excited about AGA this year.
Yeah.
In October, we have some cool things planned with connections, and I hope everybody comes down and is a part of it. We're gonna try to have a little fun this year.
And now, even after that, Joe, is SGA, right? Towards the end of October, and we may have some exciting news coming for that too.
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing something live, maybe with them.
Yeah.
So we've
With
been
Jim and James too.
With Jim and James, with Coffee with Jim and James. Yeah, we've started the dialogue to do something in person. So
I wonder if I can talk in front of people and not by myself.
Yeah, watch us be absolutely ridiculous. Like, you can't do it in person. We don't do it on camera.
I'm gonna have to call in from my booth.
Yeah, right, from over on the side, right? No, but we're really excited. I've been back out traveling. I know Chad's gone to visit a few customers. Next week we get to go together down to Louisville, Chad and I. So visit a few customers and get back out in the world. So be excited to do that. Excited to be able to see my buddy.
Yeah, again, I think one of the interesting things, Joe, is the fact that every utility kind is different right now on their reopening procedures. I mean, they're literally, there's some that are wide open, some that aren't open until September.
Yeah, it's everybody's got their own perspective and their own their own way of doing it. And I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. I think that everybody's got their what makes most sense for them. So it's good to see that some are moving in that direction, and some, I think, are still being a little conscientious and cautious and maybe taking a few more months, but all trending in the right direction. I know here, and I'm in New York State. If you guys haven't picked that up for 60 some odd episodes, we New York State's now removed pretty much everything. All of our restrictions are gone as of, I think, Tuesday. So we had to get to 70% vaccinated here in the state. And we did that, and everything's pretty much good to go, back open, normal, and
That's great.
Fingers crossed that it continues that way. I know there's some fears about some other things happening, but I think we're in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can't live in fear all the time either. It's the same thing.
I do anyway.
What are you gonna do? I do.
Scared of everything.
Kind of how we're built. Like, I go up one ring on the ladder and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, you should definitely not go up ladder.
Like that.
A disaster.
I think I know what time it is. I think it's weekly gas fact time.
Yeah. Is it?
It sure is.
Oh, this was Teddy's turn this week. I'm just kidding. I don't really have a gas fact. It's more of just like gas information.
Are you gonna quiz me again? Is that what you're gonna try and do?
No.
Thank God.
No, I mean, I wanted to kind of be a little bit more of a narrative in regards to educational, instead of it just being like 64%, of whatever. Yeah. So one of the things I was looking at, and I actually have it here in front of me, and I don't think everybody realizes this, that there's two basic types of natural gas. There's conventional and unconventional. And do you know the difference, Chad?
I didn't know there was two different things.
Yeah, so I didn't either, really. I mean, I did, but I heard all these terms, but I've
heard it, but I never paid attention to it.
So I'm going to look down at my page here so I get this right. But conventional natural gas comes from formations that are normal or straightforward to drill and tap. So extracting these fossil fuels from these geological formations can be done with standard methods that can be used economically to remove fuel from the deposit. Okay, so basically just a straight well.
Now I understand what the difference is.
Unconventional natural gas is resources that are much more difficult to extract. These are resources that are trapped in reservoirs with poor permeability and porosity, meaning that it's extremely difficult or impossible for natural gas to flow through the pores and into a standard well. And then subdivision of that is there's 3 kinds of unconventional gas. Can you name any of them?
Unnatural?
No. Well, so one would be shale gas.
Okay. See, that I was on the right track and knowing that.
And I think most people know what shale gas is, right?
Then and Rick, going back just on that little point, Rick Rao did a great job explaining how that worked too. If you shoot back to that episode, but go ahead.
Get back on. Darn it.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I'm writing that down.
Yeah. And then there's tight gas, and that's natural gas that's trapped within rock, typically limestone or sandstone, which is extremely low permeability. So the pores within the stone are they're poorly connected, so gas can't pass through them. So tight gas is considered to be unconventional source of natural gas because it requires significant hydraulic fracturing.
Is that tight gas? Is that tight like TIGHT?
Yeah, tight.
Okay.
Most tight gas formations are all found onshore. Just an idea. And then the third one is, let me turn my page. See, look, I can.
Wow, that's preparation. That's actual preparation, right?
Is coal bed methane seams. So those are another type of unconventional natural gas, and as the name implies, it's coal bed methane that is commonly found along seams of coal that run underground.
That's what Consol Energy made their whole business case in natural gas off of.
There you go.
Yeah.
So historically, when coal was mined, natural gas was intentionally vented out of the mine into the atmosphere as a waste product. And so today, coal bed methane is collected and is a popular energy source. Coal bed seams are fairly shallow and are easily extracted from where it was formed at depths to 1,000 to 3,200 feet underground. Tight gas and shale are found at much deeper depths, typically 6,500 to 16,000 feet, give or take. So
that's interesting.
To give you an idea. Yeah,
that's really cool. I never knew all those things. I mean, I knew what shale gas was, and once you said conventional, I kind of knew what unconventional was.
Sure.
But the other two, I had no idea. Well, I knew about coal bed methane, but I didn't know it was classified as something different. You know what I mean? And I've been to, wow, that's a long time ago. I have pictures of me at Consol Energy, like going to one of their sites where they process their methane. And they gave me, the only reason I remember it and have a picture is because when I went to sign in for safety stuff, they gave me an FR jumpsuit, and it was like a size 78. And it literally, the arms came down to here, like 3 feet lower than my arm. Yeah, there's a picture of me somewhere like this.
You still have it?
Yeah, definitely. It's on Facebook. Lou took it.
There's a couple other types that are really a little bit less. Did you see that?
You haunted? Wow.
Holy cow, maybe we should get off before I lose juice. So there's also geopressurized zones that are about 3,000 to about 10,000 to 25,000 feet below the Earth's surface. These zones form when layers of clay rapidly accumulate and compact on top of material that is more porous, such as sand or silt. Because this natural gas is forced out of the compressed clay, it is deposited under very high pressure into the sand, silt, or on any other absorbent material that's below it.
Can you imagine trying to drill 20,000? I mean, essentially almost 4 miles into the ground.
Geopressurized zones are really hard to mine.
I assume so.
They contain a high amount of natural gas. In the United States, though, most geopressurized zones have been found in the Gulf Coast. So there's not a whole lot.
Real deep.
And then the last is methane hydrates. Methane hydrates are discovered recently in ocean sediments and permafrost in the Arctic.
That makes sense.
Methane hydrates from very low temperature, 0 degrees centigrade or 32 degrees Celsius, Fahrenheit, or below, and under high pressure. I feel, I'm going to give Spittin' Chicklets. If anybody watches Spittin' Chicklets podcast, there's Paul Bissonnette who's on there, like, he can't talk. And that's how I feel right now. He stumbles over every word. I'm struggling today. So Paul Bissonnette, if you happen to be watching this, is a little pumped to you because I feel like you right now. So anyways, they really, really low temperature and very, very high pressure. When environmental conditions change, methane hydrates are released into the atmosphere typically. So
that's something that amazes me. That
go ahead.
Listen
to this. The United States Geological Survey estimates that methane hydrates can contain twice the amount of carbon than all of the coal, oil, and conventional natural gas in the world combined.
Wow. Wow.
Think about that.
Wow.
Right. So, anyways,
that's interesting, but it's amazing to me that they don't classify like your trash dump methane as anything either, because that's essentially becoming a renewable.
Well, I do have more on that. They have biogas, renewable natural gas,
and they're trying to. That's a place.
Those don't fall into like conventional, unconventional. They fall into supplemental.
Got you.
So
that makes sense because they're not buried. They're kind of created by us.
Yeah, exactly. So those aren't mined, I guess. But neither is methane hydrates. I don't know. I mean,
good information. That was really good information, though. Seriously,
hope somebody finds that useful and can take that home with them. So
I won't remember it tomorrow.
I know you won't. I'll send you the link.
Thank you.
You won't read it, but you can reference it later date.
So, do we have anything else, Joe?
Headache?
Not yet. I don't have a headache yet, but we do have to record another show in 5 minutes. So
yeah, we do. I'm not going to tell you who because I don't know when.
No.
So I just want to say, in all seriousness, it's infinitely more difficult without our third member here.
It's a little bit. It's hard for us. We're not used to it.
We're not usually the intro outro people, and so we have a little bit more to do. So I just really hope Teddy gets to feeling better and he heals up quick and can get back to us. You may not see him for a little while because of the cadence of where we're recording shows, but be assured he's doing okay and he'll be good soon.
Cool. So. Well, that about closes it out. I think. That's a wrap.
All right. Well, again, thanks everybody for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Check out Jim Kunkel's show, Build Out. And also, as always, Jim and James, our buddies, check them out. They've had some cool things going on. Yeah. I know they're doing a Texas Gas, or is it Texas Gas?
Yeah, Texas Gas Association.
Yeah, Texas Gas Association. They're doing a little piece for them. So if you haven't had a chance, check them out. They're doing some neat stuff as well.
Cool. All right, buddy.
Later, man.
Toodles.